Most 7-day Peru itineraries are built in the wrong order, and the traveler's own body pays the price. The instinct is obvious. You have a week, Machu Picchu is the reason you came, so you fly in, get to Cusco fast, and hit the famous ruin as early as possible to be sure you don't miss it. It looks efficient. It is, in practice, a recipe for spending the first days of an expensive trip flattened by altitude sickness in a hotel room, because Cusco sits at 3,400 meters and your body, fresh from sea level, is in no condition to be rushed up there and marched around. This itinerary is built differently. It treats the 7 days as an acclimatization curve disguised as a sightseeing route, a sequence decided by your body before it's decided by the ruins. It starts low, climbs gradually, puts the highest and most demanding moment in the middle rather than at the start, and uses the sacred valley as a decompression chamber between sea level and the thin air of Cusco. It also refuses to throw away Lima, the food capital most people skip, because the first days are exactly when you should be at low altitude anyway. The result is a week that works with Peru's geography instead of fighting it, and a Machu Picchu you reach acclimatized, unhurried, and actually able to enjoy. Here's how the week unfolds. You arrive in Lima, and rather than treating it as an annoying connection to endure before the real trip, you give it 2 full days, which is exactly what your body wants, because Lima is at sea level and every day spent here is a day banked before the climb. This is the opposite of wasted time. It's the smartest possible use of the part of the trip when altitude isn't yet a factor. Day 1 is for landing and for Lima's coast. Base yourself in Miraflores or Barranco, the cliff-top neighborhoods above the Pacific, and spend the first afternoon recovering from the flight by walking the Malecon, the cliff-top path with the ocean on one side and the city on the other. Barranco is the bohemian heart of the city. Street art, old mansions, small galleries, the Bridge of Sighs, and it rewards aimless wandering. The first evening is for ceviche, and Lima does ceviche better than anywhere on earth. Fresh fish cured in lime and chili, served at a cevicheria where the locals eat, ideally at lunch when it's freshest, but a first-night version is a fine introduction to why this city matters. Day 2 is Lima at full depth, and it's mostly about food and history. The historic center, the Plaza Mayor, the catacombs beneath the San Francisco Monastery, the colonial Spanish architecture, deserves a morning. But the real reason to give Lima time is that it's one of the great food cities on the planet, and this is the day to take that seriously. A proper lunch at one of the restaurants that have put Peruvian cuisine on the world stage, or a guided food walk through the markets where the indigenous, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, and African threads of Peruvian cooking come together. Eat well here. You're about to spend several days at altitude, where appetite fades, so Lima is where the eating happens. Day 3 is the transition, and it's the most important day to get right because this is where the altitude curve really begins. Fly from Lima to Cusco in the morning, but you are not staying in Cusco tonight. This is the single most counterintuitive and most valuable move in the whole itinerary. Instead of bedding down at 3,400 meters the moment you land, you transfer straight from Cusco Airport down into the Sacred Valley, which sits several hundred meters lower. This matters more than it sounds. Those few hundred meters are the difference between a gentle adjustment and a brutal one. Most people do the exact opposite. They stay in Cusco first because it's the famous name, and it's why so many of them get sick. You're using the valley as a landing pad. Spend the afternoon of day 3 gently. Settle into a town like Urubamba or Ollantaytambo, move slowly, drink the coca tea, hydrate hard, eat lightly, and resist the urge to do anything strenuous. Let your body start the work. Day 4 is the Sacred Valley properly, and it's both a wonderful day in its own right and a continuation of the acclimatization plan. The valley is one of the most rewarding regions in all of South America, and it gets blasted through by people racing to Machu Picchu. You're not racing. The ruins and agricultural terraces at Paisac, the great fortress temple at Ollantaytambo, a living Inca town still laid out on its original grid, the markets, the salt pans of Maras, the circular terraces of Moray, these are extraordinary, and exploring them at valley altitude is gently active without being punishing, which is exactly the kind of light exertion that helps your body adjust. By the end of day 4 you've seen genuinely world-class sights, and you've spent 2 nights letting the elevation creep up on you slowly. Day 5 is Machu Picchu, placed deliberately in the middle of the week rather than at the start. By now you're acclimatized and you've earned it. From the Sacred Valley, you take the train along the Urubamba River to Aguas Calientes, the town at the foot of the mountain. The smart play is to spend the night here so that you can reach the Citadel for the early entry the next morning. But if the schedule is tight, an afternoon entry on day 5 followed by a morning return works too. The key principle either way, aim for the quietest, best lit window you can, the early morning or the later afternoon, when the midday crowds and the harsh light have thinned. Machu Picchu scene with the mist still burning off the peaks before the day trippers flood in is a fundamentally different experience from Machu Picchu at noon in a crowd. You came a long way and climbed slowly to get here. Give it the unhurried morning it deserves. Day 6 brings you back up to Cusco, and notice that you're arriving in the highest city only now on day 6, fully acclimatized, instead of on day 1 when it would have hurt. This is the payoff of the whole sequence. Cusco at 3,400 meters, which would have flattened you on arrival, is now simply a beautiful city you're ready to enjoy. And it is genuinely beautiful. The former capital of the Inca Empire, with Spanish colonial architecture built directly on top of massive Inca stonework, the cathedral and the Corcancha Sun Temple, the Bohemian San Blas neighborhood climbing the hillside, the markets and the plazas. Spend the day walking it slowly, the way the altitude still gently asks you to. This is also the day for the last serious meal and the last souvenir shopping, with the trip's hardest physical demands now behind you. Day 7 is the departure, and it should stay gentle. A final Cusco morning, a coffee on the Plaza de Armas, a last look at the stonework, anything unhurried before the flight out, almost always back through Lima. Resist the urge to cram a demanding final excursion into a day that ends on a plane. What this week gives you that the rushed version can't is a Peru experienced in the right physiological order. Sea level first while you eat your way through one of the world's great food cities, then a graduated climb that lets the Sacred Valley do the quiet work of preparing your body, then Machu Picchu at the peak of both the trip and your readiness, then Cusco enjoyed rather than endured. 7 days isn't much for a country with 3 continents stacked inside it, and this itinerary doesn't pretend to show you the coast's deserts or the Amazon or the colorful peaks beyond. What it does is take the single most popular week in Peru and arrange it so that the thing most likely to ruin it, the altitude, becomes the very thing the itinerary is quietly built around. The mountain has stood for over 5 centuries. It rewards the traveler who climbs toward it slowly far more than the one who sprints. And on this route, the sprint was never on the table. By the time you stand at Machu Picchu, your body is ready, the crowds are thin, the light is right, and the whole week behind you has been leaning, quietly and deliberately, toward that exact moment. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, smash that like button and subscribe to When to Travel. We're all about helping you make smarter travel decisions. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And hey, if you think your friends need this, share it. Comment below with your next destination or your biggest travel question. I'm reading all of them. Let's go.